Hello, Warriors. How's everyone doing today? TGIF, yes, I agree. NFP day, all the zigs and zags we've had all week. And today we get the verdict from the judge. So, you were scalping around, did okay this week, but today's going to be decisive, I think. How about you, Ryan?
Yep, we're all ready for it, locked and loaded.
Okay, so it has the dollar peak short term on its way to 104 and a half, 105 possible. But we could also have a surprisingly strong number and rally for a third. So has the S&P bottomed? We've talked about this months ago, that we would go to 4,200 and that would be the battleground. That's exactly what it held, 4,204. So people have had a couple of days to get long off that textbook play. I mean, it's right out of every trading textbook ever written about how to, buy a pullback to a breakout. So we'll see if that holds too. And metals, after getting obliterated, still not even showing signs of that we're going to get a bear market rally. I think we will before we head down towards I think it's under 1700 now, this line, 1790, 1780. Okay, so I'm waiting for one more washout in the miners to be buying those. So besides just the physical and the leveraged, there's GDX. So, we took out major support. I always thought that we would, and I'm not sure if this is, we're not getting any divergence, but we could have a rally and then one more shot down. My target was 78.6 back on the GDX, coming in at 24.63. We're almost ready. And, this is the hardest part, when you're heading towards the buy zone and then you start to go, well, why am I trying to be so precise? Until you do it, and then, you go, oh, I should have waited. Nothing wrong with having something on, right? In case this is it, and hoping you're early so that you could build a position. So a couple of different ways of handling all of this. Kay, what would you make of the week?
Hello, everybody.
What would you make of the week? I mean, the yen had a chance for a 2-week reversal. Never know what could happen today, but that was going to happen at 48.36 by today's close. So
yeah,
I don't know I really don't know what to do in front of the number.
No,
I'm not that sure about what to do after the number.
Well, that's the thing. I reckon we had that episode on, what is it, Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
And now we are back at 149, where the rest of the dollars is rather correcting. I spoke about it on the Flow Show, just in one word, in 1 minute. I think what happened after that move is we saw those offers in dollar yen come in first for 149.30, sold it off, 149.10, sold it off yesterday again. I think a lot of what we have seen now, and then you look at what happened in the Rand and in the MEX over the week, is a lot of the yen carry trades have been unwound after that bizarre move.
Okay.
And now we are back to here. The fact that we are back here is telling us that the market is still not believing in a long for longer yen or high for longer yen trade, and that's I think the message before going into the NFP. So I think it's going to be pretty binary for what the yen dollar yen is concerned. But then if you have a number which is, let's say, relatively positive, let's say only in line with expectations, no big dramas, I think we have to look at the yen crosses, and they are likely not going to go down much. That's my view.
Okay.
the dollar for the rest overall globally is going to be a bit binary, right? If you have a really bad report, which would be the surprise, because nobody expects it to be below 90K. If you look at the forecasts, which is still marginally above the bar for creation or job destruction these days. Nobody is looking for a really bad one. So that is going to be, in my opinion, the one that's going to move the markets more, if anything. But if you get an inline one, I reckon not going to say the dollar wrecking ball is back, but there will be very little reason to be short dollars because the big domino is still standing.
And can I add to that? And good morning, guys. Kman, just to add to the good number thesis. Peter was just in the ForexAnalytix chat room. He was just saying, and plus the White House is having a press conference on jobs. Now I was on whitehouse.gov looking around. And this is Dale, you're going to laugh about this. I pretty much watched every Trump press conference that I could. I have yet to watch Biden speak yet.
But we've had Biden speak after many job reports lately. I don't know why the market is so surprised about it.
Yeah, but the speculation is, it's going to be a decent number. Is he's going to talk about,
he wouldn't have planned it, right?
But the flip side is you could always look at it like, maybe it's a bad number. He's trying to get ahead of it. So who knows?
Exactly, who knows? And the one last thing that I wanted to add for this NFP report is that again, the option market is not excited about it. If you look at the overnight at the money straddles, which is when you buy a put and buy a call at the same price, same maturity, which is the overnight, they're still not excited. And apart from the FOMC, if I recall correctly, those option prices have been relatively correct. So they're expecting about a give and take a big figure range in the euro dollar and about a similar, little bit more 1% range in the dollar yen, which is, if you look at the expectations, because everybody is now looking at, we are close to the recession because of the bond wrecking ball, which would be very limited, a very limited move. I'm not sure if they're going to be right, because I think it's a very important report, but the option market is not overly excited about it, which makes me think. I mean, I should not expect too much right now, but I do think it's going to be an important one.
So Dale, do you mind if I take the chart so we can look at a bunch of setups, bud? All right. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Also, hold on really quick. My mouse has gone crazy here. Let me see.
You want to borrow mine?
Yeah. Actually, I want to pull up something real quick. I'm just going to go on the ForexAnalytix chat room so we can see over in the news and research room. Let's go take a look at Live Squawk has their all the banks and expectations on what everybody's expecting as far as the banks go. So as Kman was just saying, expectations are all very, very lofty. So the downside would be, it would be the a miss. And take a look at yields. I mean, this is going to be a key driver, right? I mean, everybody expects, okay, it's going to be a strong number, and the 10-year is expecting it too. It's pretty clear. So the downside risk is, should there be, a number that, let's say it's below the 90,000 barrier that mark that Kman was just explaining, that's the one thing that's going to put yields back in check and probably back in this channel. And I as of right now, the market's obviously not expecting it either. So, I think it's really lined up quite well for a good number. Another thing, and I know you were talking about it while I stepped away from the computer right as we started, Dale. Yeah. Look at precious metals. I mean, this is a scary situation, because you look at gold, and gold's right next to its support, right? It's, I mean, it's right there at 1805, or 1803, 18, you know, just call it 1800. It's spot is trading right there. We've dropped to it, and we haven't seen any type of buyer step in. Relative strength remains oversold. I mean, what happens here on a you know, weak print? I mean, gold looks like we're going to trade down to the 618 retracement, which is 1790, at least pretty quickly, right? Whether we get a reaction from there, I would think we would, because we're so oversold. If you saw a reaction to 1890, you might actually get a reversal there. But is it possible we get at a good number and then the market, you know, sells it? Maybe there's some data inside, you know, maybe it's the components inside of the data, like the average hourly earnings, it's not so hot. So Ryan, what setups are you looking at right now? Because I want to go over the way I'm looking at currencies and the way I want to react depending on the data. But how about you? Let's start with you first.
I'm going to do my usual. I'm plotting my levels of various things I may trade. Obviously, dollar yen is a big one up at 150. That's going to be a huge number for everyone to watch. So if the jobs is pretty strong and we get a move up there, I'm going to keep an eye on that one.
So can we slow down just a little bit? I just want to, you know, looking at it from, you know, just as you're speaking about it. So here's the dollar yen. Is there something in particular that you're looking at? Like for me, I see multiple trend lines that it's, you know, sitting on. I would say this one is this is a minor one post the what do we want to call that, Kman? The freak out? Just kidding. little bit of slippage, banana peel slippage that we got there.
Yeah, the shit, I spilled my coffee on my keyboard moment.
So we got, and you've never done that on the trading floor, I'm sure. Never. All right, so we got a little trend line reaction there. We've come out of an ascending wedge. It looks vulnerable, but at the same time, you know, is it? I don't know. Maybe it shook out enough people. So Ryan, what levels are you looking at here?
Well, as I say, 150 on the top side. Anything down in the 147s, you know, on a big miss. If we get down to that 147 level,
That would have to be a big miss, right?
Yeah, that would be a big miss. But you never know with this number. Everyone's expecting there to be no problems, which, you know, given the history of the NFP and the way it's such a lottery, it'd be a perfect time for it to drop an absolute stinker on us. So yeah, you know, as I said, dollar yen on the top side, 150. I'm not too keen to touch, you know, a 50 pip dip in that one. But then I'm going to be looking at euro dollar as well. We need, if my calculations are correct, we need to close above 105, 60, 70, 66, 70 to stop this run of negative weeks. If I've got that right. So that's going to be an area to watch. But if it's a strong number again, we're going to be testing that 105 and maybe down to that barrier again at 104.50. Top side 107.
So we've come out of this you know, very bearish reversal. I know a lot of us were on the long side here. Divergent relative strength, that was kind of a gimme this week. The interesting thing about the euro right now is we would have, theoretically, if we closed anywhere around here, we got a false breakdown, like on a longer term basis. You can see some of this horizontal support that was pretty. That's pretty glaring, and so we'd have to have a pretty strong number to correct that and get the euro back below 105, let's say. And 106, I mean, you know, we start getting above 106, that's where Mr. Squeezy Pants comes out, right? So, you know, we start getting about above there. And I'll just tell you guys, for me, I'm really hoping we get a strong number. I know I put a YouTube short on it yesterday. I really, really hope we get a strong number and it pushes us to a fresh low, but we're so far away right now. Like I have a hard time believing that we're going to go from 105.50 to 104 today. I mean, we'd have to create, like, I don't know, we'd have to create like 300,000 jobs and average hourly earnings go up like 2 percentage points, 0.2%, to on a month basis for us to see those numbers. So I'm less enthusiastic about that today than I was yesterday, because yesterday we were about 30-40 pips lower when I filmed that. But at the same time, if we get a strong number, maybe we come back and retest, 104.50, and give us an opportunity to bounce. Because let me ask you this, Kman, and I want to get your opinion here, and you too, Ryan and Dale. Why not? A good number today. Let's say the number is, let's just say analyst expectations are right, and we come in around 170,000 jobs. Average hourly earnings tick up a little bit, but it's in line. Everything's in line. Does the market respond negatively because they think, the Fed's going to stay higher for longer? Or, with a strong number, does the market go, yeah, it's a strong number, but there ain't no landing? I mean, it's kind of like a soft landing, right? And a soft landing is not bad for stocks. And considering we have bank earnings next Friday, maybe I'll worry about stocks next Friday where we start seeing some bank earnings. But right now, let's buy some stocks here. I mean, what do you guys think? Kman, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think if you get soft landing numbers, stocks may on a immediate reaction retest 4,200, but I don't see, unless those yields really ramp higher, I don't see too much reason on a decent number for it to go much lower. But I do think on the dollar, the dollar may not explode higher, but we are going to just go back into this, I think, higher grind in the dollar if the numbers stay right, because that means that that big domino that we are expecting to fall one day or another is still holding up. Despite, and I need to say add one thing, is despite that over the last, I think, 3 reports also, the revisions of the prior number have always been lower. So is the market going to react to that? I don't really know, but get a strong report. I just think the dollar grinds higher again.
It's like, it is always a downward revision, and I know people have been making that argument all the last, I don't know how many jobs reports, but it hasn't stopped the market, right? I mean, just it hasn't at all. So Ryan, what are your thoughts?
When you look at currencies, take a look at dollar Swiss. It's interesting. Around 91, I think 90, 80, 90. There you have it, 90, 85, 91. It's a pretty important number to close above or below there.
This is my short du jour. So if we have a week, I already have orders that are set on my platform right now to get short dollar Swiss on a bad number. This is my this is the trade I want to trade, because we have a double top, false breakout to the upside. That double top should take us over time, not necessarily today. I wouldn't think it would have to be a really bad number today, but over time, we're dropping back towards a 50 DMA, which would be about 89.50. So you got about a 200 pip, I guess 150 pip slide there to some previous support levels, resistance levels. The dollar Swiss is my, and it acts as a couple different things, right, Kman? I mean, if it's a bad number, dollar Swiss is going to fall, yields are going to fall, so you can trade it as a yield play. Swiss franc tends to be a little bit more of a safe haven currency. Yen's kind of out of this picture right now, so you could trade the Swiss. It makes sense to be long. So I like the dollar Swiss on a bad number. So
and cable is the other one, because that's relatively volatile, and we are around this 121.90 figure, and that's another one on my radar at least.
And it does look like it could squeeze after completing a head and shoulder pattern,
and then before you know it, you're back at 123.1020 on a wrong number, and for a starter. And but if it's a really good number, then perhaps it's all been a short covering in what we've seen in the cable, and then we're going back to 120 or 120 and a half.
Yeah, there's a lot of people so bearish on the UK economy, like Ryan. I mean, he constantly reports back that no one's in the theaters, no one's at the beaches, and I'm joking, Ryan. Are you there?
Yeah, There's no recession the way my wife keeps spending.
So, hey, let's talk about a bad number. Dale, what do you think? A bad number? What are you going to do? I mean, dollar slides. Are you going to buy precious metals? Is that the play? Because I know you're looking at them like you're finding them attractive down here.
Well, I think the time to know was prior to the number, like the 50% correction in the Dixie at that 107.20 level, and the time to not know is right now. So I really have no plan even to react to the reaction. I could sit out today and re-rack them next week. That's what I'm doing.
Re-rack them is a billiards slang, guys.
Yeah.
So Ryan over there playing snooker, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
No, we have pool over here. Jesus, we're not in the 1800s. And we invented the sport, so jog on over there.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah, that's right.
So real quick, let's just talk about this dollar reaction, and let's just say it's bad data. One of the other things we should note here, we've been looking at this channel. I mean, I think we started drawing that channel like literally, months and months and months ago. Breakout, it's been pretty solid. It squeezed enough people. Got all the euro traders. I say euro traders, all the euro longs that everybody was thinking that were going to 120. They're caught with their pants down. Dollar index broke out. The breakout point is here at 105.90, 105.88 if you want to be specific. That's the high right there on the dollar index. It also happens to be channel support. So my view would be if we broke back below here. Now we have to have obviously weak data and start to see data weaken in general over the course of the next couple of weeks. This is a good example of the escalator up, elevator down, right? It looks like a nice little elevator shaft below 105.90. Squeezed out all the dollar shorts, got everybody long. Now everybody's thinking it's the dollar wrecking ball that's going to completely destroy, equity markets globally. And a break back below 105.90, we should probably trade back down towards the 50 DMA and probably retest this old channel here. And maybe even as low as the 200-day if things get a little out of control. So I wanted to point that out because I think the dollar is in a pretty vulnerable area if there is weak data. That's why when you start going, all right, well, what am I going to do if the dollar is weak? I'm going to trade, maybe the dollar Swiss. Well, if the dollar Swiss breaks down, could it break down even further based on what the dollar index is doing? I start thinking about those things a little bit longer term, especially if it is, some pretty weak data. Hey, we should talk about this because it is today. We have Canadian jobs and they're coming up in 6 minutes. So along with the NFP, we did hit channel resistance. These are the lows over here. There's channel, channel, hit 127% extension, stuck it at 137.80. Well, we know now at this point, we have a break below 136.90 or 85 roughly. That's going to be bearish. We'd have to see a strong Canadian data with a little bit of underperformance in the US. That could take us down here. We got a nice little head and shoulder pattern setting up. Flip side is, weak Canadian data, strong US data could put us, in a serious breakout situation, especially with crude oil looking a little vulnerable too. Next thing you know, you're trading above 140. So, and then you got this longer term, rough channel that you're dealing with, taking us up into the 140. So, Ryan, do you have any thoughts about what you guys covered in the flow show? That's the show that Ryan and Kman are on a few hours ago every day. Any highlights on the dollar Canadian today?
Yeah, well, obviously it's going to be affected by the jobs reports. It's double bubble, so you know if it's a strong Canadian jobs, if it's a weak US jobs, then you're going to see that really moving some. And you know, if as Kay was mentioning on the flow show, if you want to get out of the dollar side of things for your CAD, then look at the crosses. That's where you want to go, because it can be a bit messy trading dollar CAD over both job reports. So yeah, you know, you've got some levels popping up in Euro CAD to keep an eye on. You know, there's plenty of others. Aussie CAD, I know Gavin in our room's been looking at that one this week. So yeah, I mean CAD yen, yeah, you could look at that. It's going to be another wild horse. I'm just going to keep saying different CAD pairs to keep you flicking around your charts now. Polish zloty CAD. Have a look at that one.
PLN, CAD. Just kidding. I'm joking.
I'm going to give you the big one around.
Kman, what are your thoughts here? I'm done with Ryan. So what are your thoughts, Kman?
Yeah, on the CAD, well, yeah, as I said on the flow show, we are, and I know you're watching it too, right on the 144.90 figure in the Euro CAD, which is relatively important. And then there's the 137. I think the $137 CAD is going to be the key to go into the weekend. Be above or below is going to be enough, I think, to choose a direction at the end of the day. And that's basically it. As I said, the yen may be the more difficult one to trade. Personally, I have my options, so I'm half hedged now, so I'm long or short. So for me, the dollar yen is fine, but it may be the more difficult one to trade. And the CAD is likely Euro CAD, dollar CAD, CAD yen. If in case both reports are good, I can see the CAD yen start to shoot up again. That is one thing. If both US and the Canadian report are good, so that's the pairs that I'll be looking at for the Canadian dollar.
Sounds good. Let's real quick. Let's take a look at equities and let's take a quick view of the S&P. Dale, as you pointed out, textbook, right? I mean,
Yeah.
4,200, 200 DMA, 38% retracement of the entire move from the lows, 161% extension of this move. I mean, you know, you could say that was, you can see it was drawn out triangle. That was a completion there, a minimum completion or minimum completion of a triangle, channel support, all sorts of, you know where you're wrong if you're long equities right now, right? Below 4,200, shit gets real.
Yes,
and
it's a battle zone. So, you know, I mean, if we have something favorable, I could see 43.30.
Yeah, I mean,
but I'd be a seller up there.
But you say something favorable, you know, is that, again, this is the question.
Yields, the dollar continuing to fall towards 104.5 and yields coming in.
So that means the data is going to have to be weak. Yeah. If the data is weak, yields are going to fall. If yields fall, we are going to see some stock market recovery. And I think that's a really good thing to think about, Dale, and a great point you bring up. What is going to drive yields lower? Because yields are ultimately it's the dog wagging the tail right now.
That's the fear, the strong dollar and yield. So oil's come off. Maybe the next two dominoes are the dollar and yields for a little while.
Yeah, and that's right. And oil has come off. And here's the thing about oil, what a
vicious move.
It is. It got everybody. Everybody was long, targeting 150. Of course, the market's going to correct. I mean, it's
60 seconds.
Oh shoot! Thank you, thank you. Wow. Let's get over to here's the dollar.
Someone's got to pay attention around here.
Thank you, Ryan.
And can you look at the Thai baht CAD cross as well while you're there?
Yeah, I'm going to put the dollar CAD right there. 15-minute chart, S&P yields, and let me grab the data flash off of ForexAnalytix and pull that over.
My blood pressure is rising.
Woo! Here we go, guys. Stand by.
I can't take this adrenaline anymore.
Dale, where's your squishy ball? Where's your stress ball? All right.
I don't know. I broke it.
So here's whoops, I didn't want to do that. Damn it. All right, here we go. Okay. It's hard doing this on one screen here, with everybody.
Oh, you need more real estate.
I got more real estate. It's just I can't show more real estate. Well, I
Oh,
could.
I know.
I don't want to show
Yeah.
all my screens. So
336. Wow.
Are you joking?
Wow.
But the
Looks like
unemployment rate is ticks up a little bit.
stocks are getting
Wow,
smashed.
strong report. Huh?
Wow. That is
Pretty
who's
strong
running
report in
victory
Canada
laps
as well.
today? Who's running victory laps today? Biden's running victory laps today.
That's why he
He's
planned.
doing.
That was a great.
Yeah.
That was a great tell, Blake.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm gonna
that
go
was
run
really.
victory laps today.
You know what? You've become quite the gumshoe, where you're out there beating the bushes and looking for this stuff because it's making your narratives of even more interesting when they were just 90% technical.
Yeah, well,
Really,
thank
man.
you,
Good
gumshoe.
job.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, look at yields.
Well, that's what they called reporters.
And
right back in the day.
They didn't call people; they went there. So anyway.
Yeah.
strong CAD number as well. Very strong CAD number. 64K. And unemployment rate dropping to, coming in unchanged, 5.5%. But it was a lot of part-time employment, 48K versus 16K full-time. So a lot of part-time employment there.
Okay, so maybe the dollar CAD is a good fade then. Just you can watch how it's fading off of the 130. I wouldn't be a seller necessarily right now. But man, I'll tell you what, this market is not happy.
Yeah, I mean, look at the weekly candle. It could do it today, close under 4,200, and there could be some kind of panic into early next week.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, everybody's got to look at this and start thinking that. But here's the thing, I want to point this out.
Turn it
again. It's like, does the stock market actually bounce here when it starts thinking, hey, there's going to be not a recession, and that's better than having a recession, or that's better than the Fed staying higher for longer. Maybe the market can actually sustain these high yields. I mean, I'm just, again, I'm playing devil's advocate at this point with the market. Maybe the market recovers and the S&P starts to get some buyers coming in. The risk reward here still favors bulls. I mean, I'm not saying that you should be picking bottoms right here, but where you're wrong, right? At below 4,200, where you're wrong. Yeah. Anyway, just a thought. I'm not doing anything. I'm just kind of watching at this moment. But boy, I'll tell you what. Let's take a look at the dollar yen. The dollar yen's making its way back up towards 149.50. Kman, Ryan, are you guys doing anything?
Yeah. Pay attention to this 149.30 for a starter, because that's where some of the offers were parked at the other day. On the second run, you see, there. Yep. Pay attention to this level. If it goes through, I think 150 is back in the cards. I don't have much more to say. That this is a very strong report, and even the revision was not worse this time. So
what are they doing to notes, Blake?
Yeah, let's take a look at those yields here. Let's take a look at them. Here they are. Wow. Yeah. Those are the notes. Here's the bonds. 30 year is going to be touching 5% here in a second. Yeah. Market's not going to like that.
That 10-year you need to watch. If we don't hit the high on this data, if we don't make even just a couple of points higher on that high in the 10-year, then there's a strong chance we might find a bit of a top forming.
Okay. Blake was worried about talking about this acceleration. I'm looking at the 10-year yield chart right now, and it's become parabolic. It's like it's going to have a blow off or something.
That we are in the parabolic state once you get past like the upper end of the channel, which we're just kind of holding. Next thing you know, we are going parabolic, right? And that's scary.
Yeah.
As EuroCAD, you can look at EuroCAD.
Yeah, EuroCAD.
That is now a very, very good marker around that 144.90 figure. It really is. It's a strong resistance now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I sold some yesterday.
Was
And
looking a
I-
bit iffy this
Yeah.
morning, but I sold a little bit after the numbers.
Oh, good. All right. Well, maybe I'll start adding that
Greg
one.
also said when he was here the other day, Blake, that a weekly close under 4,200, even though there's a chance 4,160 could hold for after a completion, he said it'd be pretty bearish.
Huh.
I remember him saying that if we take out, this is the way he does it because he doesn't want to upset people. He goes, if we close under the 4,200, I'm afraid that there'll be some, I'm afraid that there'll be some more, some more pain.
Is that your way? That's your way of telling us how Greg showing us how Greg speaks.
Yeah, it's not but I mean, yeah, he doesn't want to go, well, this breakdown, you better sell everything you have and make sure
Right.
you have 30 days of food.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just, tries
Right.
to calm people down about it.
Right. Okay. Well, hey, S&P, we're getting close to the 4,200. Now, remember, this is like quad confluence of supports. I mean, it's so big. I don't even know how to say that. We get nestled below that next week, and I'm not too sure where this market's. Well, I mean, my assumption is the market's going to see 3,800 over time, but it's going to get pretty shaky below
I have
that.
that 39.28 as a possible target right there.
Oh,
there's a weekly moving average that comes in there too.
And let's not forget that no matter how you draw it, whether it's here or here, the head and shoulder pattern is going to complete around 4,000 roughly.
Okay.
Roughly, the give or take. Again, we're near a lot of support. I think a lot of shorts are probably thinking, I don't want to chase it down here, which makes sense. I mean, again, good data. Are we going to skirt a recession? How about if we don't have a recession? Maybe stocks are appropriately priced. Maybe we'll have to wait for earnings next week. I think bank earnings starting next Friday is going to be a big deal. I think the inflation data on Thursday is going to be a big deal. So does the market want to get too in front of it, over its skis right now on the short side, selling equities, selling risk going into here? And this is why I'm going to look at the euro.
Blake, hold that chart there, that last chart on the S&Ps, because if we break 4,200, you had there you go. That'll be a 3 driver down there, just under 42. So I'm conflicted. Is the short-term formation more important than a close under 4,200? Because, that would be something I'd scalp, but 4,200 is a big weekly signal. Which do you put more weight on? I wish I wasn't seeing this formation developing.
I just all I know is I don't know if I really want to short risk right now, based on what we're seeing here. Hey, I know we've gone on a little bit longer than we normally. You didn't have a interview today, which is great. By the way, the dollar Canadian has it's reversing back towards 137 on that both good data there. Let's get some parting thoughts from Ryan and Kman, and then we'll wrap things up and hopefully see you guys on Monday morning for the F.A.C.E show. So again, Kman, or excuse me, Ryan, what are your final thoughts here? What are you thinking as we wrap things up?
Just looking into the numbers, government did quite a bit of lifting there. They were up 73k. The prior number was 8k, and that got revised up to 50k. There was someone in Shepperton at I think it's at Pantheon, said that there could be this was before the number, there could be a bounce in state and local education, could see a big rebound. And looking at the data, it says state government education jumped 29,000, and government payrolls, as I say, up 73,000. So it looks like, because we had that problem with the teachers, didn't we, a while back, all dropped out the numbers. So maybe it's a bounce from that. But on the face of it, good data. We've also broken the run of lower revisions. That went up 40k as well. Higher for longer. Is it enough, though, to give us another leg higher in the dollar and yields. That's what I'm going to be watching closely.
All right. Thank you very much, Ryan. I met the CEO of Pantheon. He came to Greenwich when I happened to be in the Gellis office, and guys, he's awesome. He's like one of my favorite economists around. So yeah, it's an interesting guy. All right, what do you think here as far as reaction goes? What do you want to do?
Well, I'm in euro dollar at 105.05. We got that test of the big figure, so I'll
That's
pick some up.
interesting. I picked some up too at 105.06 myself. So yeah,
I'm just going to knock a bit out actually while we're speaking.
Good. All right. I think I might wind out of that one too. Remember, this is like I was looking for a setup of a reason or a way to get long euros on a strong data print. We got a strong data print. I'm trying to get long some for a bit of a reversal. I think stocks are going to actually recover by the end of the day, just because, again, maybe we'll skirt a recession. The glass is half full. How about that?
You know what about the recession, Blake?
Yeah.
We may not have a recession because the fundamental economy is so good, but we're going to have a financial crisis because of the good economy, from all the mismanagement from the Fed, from our government with debt, and financial engineering has made our financial system vulnerable vis-a-vis the run on banks in March. So it's not the economy that's in recession. It's going to be the financial system that takes us into recession. That's my last word.
That's a good thought. And again, I think the financial system it might be broken and it's in process of breaking. So
yeah.
So Kman, what are your final thoughts here?
Just want to cheer everyone up for the week.
Yeah, let's get some smiles going.
For me, dollar grind higher. I'm a little short EuroCAD again. Not again. I'm a little short EuroCAD of the data, and watching dollar yen grind back to 150. I guess. Not short yen crosses because it looks to me like a positive risk number, although dollar yen is going slower than the rest now. But I'm not in crosses because the market is probably still a bit wary of possible interventions around 150. But for the rest, yeah, I do like the dollar again. But yeah, here we go.
All right, and Tony, yeah, I don't go to Greenwich anymore. I stopped trading for Gellos 2 years ago.
I got a strange email from him. Can I send it to you, man?
No, he got hacked.
That's what it was. Yeah, and it sent you to a place where you're going to be, you
clicked on it.
Oh yeah, I did.
Well, that's
my antivirus.
I'm glad you're here today.
Me.
Let's just put it that way. What's that?
All right. Hey, my antivirus keeps me safe.
Okay.
It said, Dale, don't go. It's dangerous. I go. Good. I trade. I'm not afraid of danger.
Good. Anyway, all right. Hey, I'm going to leave you guys some final thoughts. Just remember that the S&P here, 4,200 is really, really critical. How the market reacts once the open, happen. I mean, once you get the equity markets open after about an hour and all the Europeans leave, I think the market's probably going to drift into the weekend. So, just be careful between now and like the first hour of the market open, because whatever direction we get, it seems like it'll be a directional day. So if you start to see, like, I'll just give you an example. If the dollar just holds on to these gains, we might end up grinding higher throughout the course of the day, as Kman pointed out. The flip side is if the dollar starts reversing a little bit, like does one of these, like this, it could end up just kind of grinding throughout the course of the day. So wherever we, go, it's just probably going to end up grinding as all the European traders, exit stage right. So
in about 10 minutes.
For what's that?
In about 10 minutes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, by the way, I know we give away ForexAnalytix subscriptions during non-farm payroll. I think we give away 3?
Yeah, that's right.
Did,
Yeah, correct.
did anybody hit the number?
I don't know. I'm sitting here talking to you. Lot. I haven't done the count
okay.
yet.
We're all about,
Alright,
we're
but
all about
that's a
half
big
1 million
number.
of the guesses.
I know, but that had to be a really, really big guess. But anybody that I guess that probably guessed more than 250,000, you got a good shot at jumping in our community. So that'd be cool.
I'm on it now. I'm on it now.
All right. Well, hey, everybody, thanks for joining us today. Good luck today for the remainder of the session. Thanks for being with us. And Dale, thanks for guiding us every week. Ryan, Kman, I know you guys do not only the flow show, but you also have a presence here on F.A.C.E. We do appreciate it. And thanks all of our listeners for being here with us each and every day. We'll see you on
that interview with Luke Roman. I've never seen him so fired up. You have to listen to it.
I did. I listened
amped.
to part of it. He was a little fired up, wasn't he?
Yeah, usually it's almost like he when you make a long-term forecast and it just seems like it's out there in the future sometimes, and then it starts to manifest through real-time events. It kind of validates what he's been saying about the bond market all this time. So anyway, I'm going to call the plunge protection team, because I know there's, we don't want our IRAs to fall in value over the weekend. And I want to thank Kay and you, Blake, and Ryan, and all the people behind the scenes that do the work of editing videos and putting them out there for people to learn. I think we're doing a good thing.
Cheers, Dale.
100%.
And,
Thank you.
right back at you,
Thanks,
mate.
Dale.
Thank you, Dale. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
All right, guys. Everyone have a great weekend, and don't just count all the pips you're going to make today. Count your blessings and the people that you get to spend the weekend with. Okay? That's a
Amen.
wrap, everyone. Have a great weekend. Thanks, team. Dream team. And to stay in the know, you have to go to the Flow Show. And that's where we'll start again on Monday. Adios, everyone. See you guys.
Cheers.